Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Not a Trekkie, an all Star Wars Everything podcast brought to you by Red Cyclone Inc. Everything from Andor to Rebel One's Clone Wars to Obi-Wan. Now, I cannot express this anymore. There is no hate. This ain't Stargate, this ain't Star Trek, this is Star Wars. I'm your host, Tatsuku Wap, aka Tenacious T. I am with my partner in crime, the Merc with the Mic.
What is going on? What is going on?
That's the first time I said Tatsuku Wap first
Yeah, it's
during
cool.
our cast. It's usually just Tenacious T, but I kind of become accustomed to Tatsuku Wap. I do
Hey,
like it.
it's all good.
The
So
man with many names, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
the
The man
man
with
with
many
many
names.
names.
I'd rather have
We're
many names than many faces.
yeah, yeah. That would hurt. That'll be kind of hard, right?
Well, unless I was like Clayface or like Dark Man or something. You know what I mean?
Dark Man. Yeah, but look, we watched Dark Man not so long ago, and like
I know for
the money.
it gets better, I swear, right?
Yes, yeah. Our super, our comic book theater movies, and yeah, like you have to have a lot of money to make that machine.
Well, he was a scientist, so
Yeah, he didn't have money though.
I mean, look at his getup.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that was him in his prime, though, man. That was the early '90s right
Yeah.
there. I
Liam
vaguely
Neeson.
remember that movie. What
Yeah.
they came out with like four of them, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't part of the other three.
Okay, so it was just
It was the dude from the
Liam
Mummy,
Neeson
the guy that played the Mummy in Mummy.
in the Brendan Fraser one.
Yes, it was him that played the second one.
Oh man, what was his name? I know his name. Um,
I don't know
I don't
his
know.
name.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
That's
What we
that's
talking
neither
about?
here or there.
But this is a Star Wars podcast, and we're just going
Yes,
around
of course.
this.
Hey,
Well,
listen,
Liam Neeson is in it. There you go. That's the connection of Dark Man is Liam Neeson. Um,
yeah,
So we're
100%.
back with Not a Trekkie podcast. We are doing uh Clone Wars season 3. So we're back.
Yes. Uh, I really wish with what's going on in the Star Wars world, we did finish this series earlier. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest, because Ahsoka just started coming out,
So I think we should
and
finish it then before we go
I
to
mean,
Ahsoka.
regardless, I'm gonna watch Ahsoka, but like,
So let's
I,
finish
I,
the series. Let's finish the
I
series and
mean,
then we go to Ahsoka.
I'm with that because like this series alone has put me on to characters that I didn't know was in
Yeah.
Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and stuff like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like this show like ushered all that in, and I'm like, wait, like I love this, but like who the fuck is that? And then we're watching this now as we're
Yeah.
going, and I'm like, oh, it's like I feel like I kind of shortchanged myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel the same. Like I never really watched this show, but I heard many great things about it. But while we were watching, I think it was Mandalorian because they had characters from the shows, and I felt like damn, we actually do have to watch the Clone Wars now because there's characters that are showing up that started in Clone Wars. So again, we kind of just went into order, and the fact that we would finish all the movies, we even did the Clone Wars movie, and then we went to the series, and then so we kind of just went in that way, and I think we're gonna keep doing that in chronological order. That's how we're gonna go with the Star Wars
Yeah.
stuff. So
See, the thing is with Obi-Wan, since we've seen all the movies, you know what I mean,
yeah,
and done reviews on all the movies, like that was fine to jump in that. Mando was kind of its own thing at first,
yeah,
and then it branched off into other things. Luckily, we know who Boba Fett is, but as soon as Boba Fett happened, like that's when it started diving down into really like Clone Wars,
yeah,
you
because
know?
you like the cover the bounty hunters, the other Mandalorian, and all that stuff all came from this show. So and then also the creator of the show, the one of the directors of the show, has done a lot of episodes of Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and all that stuff. He's one of the big dudes that write for Star Wars, David Finnegan. So he has a big grasp on the Star Wars universe, and that's what's bringing a lot of these characters to life because he's a producer of a lot of the new shows as well.
I mean, I do enjoy like the wowness of, since we've seen the shows and we're in the digital age of Disney Plus
Yeah,
dropping everything, and then us being at work continuously, like on Wednesday nights at 3 o'clock in the morning watching,
yeah,
and then diving down into this, and I can only imagine how it felt for the people who've been through all this.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, because I'm a Star Wars fanatic, but it's like more in the stuff like the movies and stuff like that.
yeah.
I'm not an animated person, a computer generated person. I'm not that, so I never dove down into it. You know,
I was big into the games, like the video
I've
games.
played a couple of games.
Yeah, I
I've
was
played a
big
couple.
into the games. Like I like this like Rogue Squadron and fucking Rogue Assault and shit like that. I was really into the space combat stuff.
Yeah, the game I really played was Shadow of the Empire,
That was a
which
good game.
was super
Yeah,
dope. I
shout out
still
to
get through. You know, still halfway through the Fallen Order.
yeah.
I fail miserably. Everybody go and check out our Gamer Rage podcast. You'll find out I am a habitual non-finisher of video games. I
Yeah.
definitely am.
And I had Shadows of the
But
Empire, and I finished it.
yes, I mean that was a challenge that I did get to you. But
Yeah.
it's like what I was saying though is like I can only imagine like the people who's watched this and then are now watching the new stuff and it's like, oh my god, he's fucking in it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The bounty dude, like Bane.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like how they must have flipped out when they fucking saw it. Like, oh my god, they brought him into it. You know what I mean? Like that's cool to me.
Yeah, I feel like I had the reverse effect. So when I see them in the show, I'm like, "Oh shit, that's that guy. Oh, cool."
Yeah, yeah. Like it's the same thing with me.
yeah,
Or it was like in Mandalorian season 2, Boba Fett when his ship came, and I was like,
yeah,
yo, tell me that's fucking Boba Fett, bro.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then it ended up being like I felt that then. You know what I mean? Because I know who the fuck Boba Fett is.
yeah,
You know. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, it's the reverse effect. Like, oh, I
yeah.
know him. It
That-
makes it that much better.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what I feel like. I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh shit, look at that guy. I know him." You know what's
That's funny.
funny?
That's funny.
My introduction to a lot of these characters too is not even the shows, is Lego Star Wars, because I play those
Oh yeah.
games. So I platinum those games, I finished those games, and there's a bunch of characters that you have to unlock that I have no clue who the fuck they are, but they have story missions, and I'm like, okay, I guess this is a story like that. So when I actually see them, I'm like, oh shit, I know Lego Star Wars too. So that's another thing I fucking know these guys from.
Also, like a little bit, like I'm not gonna say I read a lot, but I've read a little bit of Star Wars comic books. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
some
because
some some are ushered into it and stuff.
I like the Vader one a lot. I thought that was a really good book.
Yeah, the Vader one, I've maybe read like 10 issues of it, maybe.
I think I got up to like the 23, 24. I think.
That's something that I'm gonna have to dive into one day. Because I
Yeah.
hear it's really good, and I actually on the Popcorn in 1975 Instagram page, which everybody go and like and follow
Yep.
that page. I posted something that's like one of the most ruthless moments that Darth Vader did, and it's like, put down the saber, you're surrounded. He's like, all I smell is fear and dead people, and he
Yeah.
just fucking just like murdered everybody.
yeah. His
You know what I
comics
mean? Like,
pretty. His comics pretty good. It's on
I
the
want. Do
Marvel.
they
What you
do
said?
they dive down into like what goes on in the fucking head? Like I know in the first 10 issues, it's more of like what he's doing,
And
but
and
like,
and and he's learning that the emperor has other things in mind, that he's just a placeholder right now. And that's something
okay.
he kind of goes through in that series. And later on, he gets more into the person he was, because he starts to remember. He gets like brief flashbacks, but they're not really like high defin. But he pretty much like will get a memory of here and there and stuff like that. Because it's supposed to take place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, so it's supposed to take place in that section of time. Um,
Okay.
but it's on the Marvel Unlimited app. Like all the comics are on there. I think to the end, all his issues are on there. All the Star Wars comics are on there because Marvel did them.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
You can even
Yeah,
read the
no,
'80s ones.
that's something to dive into
Yeah,
one of these days.
yeah. You can even
Because I
read
got
the
the two
'80s ones.
graphic novels of A New Hope and all that
Yeah,
stuff, like the comics, the original comics
yeah,
that they
yeah,
came out with. I
yeah.
have those in graphic novel form, so
Yeah, they're good. They're good stuff.
I never dove down into them
Um,
yet, so
we
I gotta do that.
haven't been on for another Trek for a while, so there's a lot of stuff Star Wars related that has been coming out. So Ahsoka just started this week. We did our review of Andor, so Ahsoka is supposed to be the big one right now, and that's why again we're getting more interested in this character because we're actually learning from more from Clone Wars. There's a shit ton of figures that got announced and coming out. Hasbro fucking announced, and one of the HasLabs is fuck, what is it? It's the new Slave One shit. Well, it's not
Yeah,
called Slave
I'm gonna
One
be
anymore.
honest. I don't know anything of the toys going out because my brain is still wrapped up around what McFarlane's doing with all the Batman and the Joker stuff, and
Yeah,
it's killing me. It's definitely killing me.
I'm glad I have not like started a Star Wars collection. I'm very happy I have not. But I see the stuff they come out with, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I know that guy. That one's cool. That's how I look at the Star Wars figures and shit. I don't go more than that. I'm like, I'm
Oh,
not.
that looks
Yeah,
nice on the shelf.
yeah. I think I own two. I own two of the Black Series. I own the green foiled Boba Fett, and I own the Darth Vader.
I think I only own like a couple of pops, and they're actually I think worth some money. I'm gonna
Oh,
be
I
honest with you.
I also own Darth Revan, which is Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay,
Those are the only ones I own. That's it.
I think I got Ghost Yoda for a pop, and I
I have
got
that one.
Kylo Ren when it first came out, and I think a Darth Vader prototype.
Yeah,
I don't really do the pop world though, man. It's too much.
yeah. It's a big collection. And then
And I feel like that phase is starting to phase out a little bit, you know?
yeah. All right, the HasLabs is the Vintage Collection, the Ghost, which is Silka's ship, which is gonna be. It's kind of like the Mandalorian one I did. So basically, it's the 3.5 inch figures. So they're smaller. They're like the size of the I forgot the company name. The original Star Wars figures, about that size. Kenner.
Oh yeah, the Kenner. Yeah.
So they're about the same size of that, but they're kind of like more mobile, like the GI Joe figures. So they're
Yeah,
about that
don't
size.
they still come out with those figures, the Kenner ones?
Yeah. So I think.
They're in likeness of it.
Yeah, yeah, they do that, and then they also do the Star Wars Vintage Collection, which is the 3.5 feet. That's fully. So they think of the Black Series, but miniature, and that's what they do.
Okay. I think I bought the man also Mando's ship.
Okay. Oh yeah,
But
this
that's like a model figure.
the model, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I opened the box up and looked at it and I was like, fuck this. I was like, I ain't got the patience for this.
Yeah. All
It,
right.
it looks better in the box anyway.
So we go into this season.
Yeah, well, also the second the game came out, right?
Huh? The
The
second game.
for Fallen Order,
Oh, Jedi Survivor. Yes,
it came out. So you've played it,
I
right?
finished it. I planned to it.
Finish it. What was your take on that? Give that a quick
Um,
review because I haven't been able to dive down into it yet.
it was a really good game. I think some of the open world shit it was a little too much, but from the story standpoint and what they did with the story, it was a really great story and kind of leaves an option for them if they want to add him to a show.
Okay. 'Cause I think Cameron, from what I've seen for playing half the first game, like he's awesome, and I feel like he should get his own series or something like
He's
that. You know?
been very vocal about that, and also wants to be showing up in these live action shows that they have.
Well, he
He's like,
deserves it because
yeah,
he's come a long way, and I remember him in he was in the movie Click.
yeah,
He was the little kid across the street that yelled at him for not having like the universal remote,
yeah.
which is actually hilarious if you go back and look. And then
He was
obviously
a
he's known
Doyle,
for
right?
Shameless. Yeah, well, he's
They were a
a Doyle.
Doyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A Doyles from Billy Madison.
Well, they weren't part of that family. They just reused the name.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, no,
But
but it was a connection to
he
Matt.
wasn't a
Yeah,
Doyle.
a Doyle rules.
Which yeah, well that everybody knows Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
so we are doing our review of Star Wars Clone Wars, the Clone Wars season 3.
All right.
Up to this moment in time, like I've enjoyed the Clone Wars the first two seasons, but as of this moment in time, this is definitely my favorite series. My favorite
This
season.
season was very cohesive with each other. Like I'll say for the most part, like all the stories kind of connected to each other, and it gave you a really good view of the world. Um, I really enjoyed it as well. The last two episodes, I will say that was like the downer of it because I was expecting this big epic to end, but it was like okay. But
And like the
it
thing
had
is
its
with the
highlights.
first two seasons, like it was all over the place.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like with this season, like there was 3, 4 episodes together. You know what I mean? Like continuing the
yeah,
episode. You know what I mean? I feel like they got their stride with this one.
yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. So so you have the list of shows up?
Yes, I mean I got it on Disney Plus, but I feel like I should Google
No,
something better than
I'm on
this.
the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go Google something better than that because it doesn't really give like a description.
Yeah, sometimes but then sometimes the descriptions they give are like, sometimes it's like opposite. Like they'll have one episode different than the others.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm just gonna quickly Google it real quick.
Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, yeah. So just on Google itself, they have a little bit more
Yeah.
of a thing, but yeah, I don't know. It's really, you know what I mean? It's gonna have to be what we remember of it.
All right. Let me go from there. All right. So I'll do the odds. You do the even.
All right, that's fine.
All right. So episode one, clone candidates. Unless they want to fail their training, the clones of Domino Squad must learn to work together during their training on Camino. So
Yeah,
a lot of these, so this is kind of like the prequel of what becomes Bad Batch.
I've never seen it, and I'm excited for it. But basically, what's going on here is that they feel like the clones are done and that they need to start a new run of them.
Yeah.
And it starts, I mean, the first couple episodes was really just like them doing their own thing where you can actually see like there was that one mechanic dude that never made it as a clone, like as a warrior and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I felt bad for him because he was like, "This is what I was born for," and he just died.
Yeah.
You know what I
Pretty
mean?
much.
It's like he literally grabbed something and ran away with it, and literally as he was running away with it, got shot in the back.
Yeah.
It's like you did nothing. You just died to transport something 50 yards, and and
Yep.
you died
That's how they did it.
to it. But so like I'm pretty sure like the first couple of episodes is literally them discussing the protocols of getting rid of them
Yes.
and then restarting it up like with a different host
Yeah.
instead of Jango Fett. They wanted somebody else to do it.
All right.
That's literally what like the first 3 episodes is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's
So you got
like
RC troops and then supply lines.
yeah, the ARC troopers, General Grievous and Asajj Ventress, which I'll just call it Ventress because I can
Yeah.
never enunciate anything. Combined
Ventress, you're
forces
right.
and attack on Camino.
Yeah.
Aji, that's the sushi place, right? Aji.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So General Grievous, which we all know who General Grievous is.
The asthmatic
The
droid.
asthmatic android who is fucking hilarious. Yeah, Ventress. So Ventress is Count Dooku's apprentice,
Yes.
and she constantly fails him. So up to this point in time, we thought that she was dead, and she came back, and she's like below the radar,
Yeah.
and she's kind of like playing Puppet Master, and she's kind of like trying to woo herself back into Count Dooku's good graces.
Yeah.
So like that's really that. Um, I wish there was more of a description.
I have Wikipedia that actually has more of
Yeah,
it.
we could look at that real quick.
All
Sorry,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, we're just trying to give more of a more of an insight for
So we
you
gave
because
1, 2, 3. So you could start episode 4,
all right, let me see what episode 4.
which is called the Sphere of Influence.
Yeah, sphere of influence is what you call it. what you call it, Chi Ekwe and whatever chairman, Hanadora's daughter, are kidnapped and held for ransom. So Ahsoka and the team with the senators
Yeah.
of Fantora and Ryo. I suck at enunciating things. Everybody go and check out
Rio.
our Morphin cast
Yeah.
because we have to do the Super Sentai and it's like absolutely
Ryo
horrible to
Chuchi.
enunciate. Ryo
Ryo
Chuchi.
Chuchi. I
To
think
aid
I,
the
I
new
think that's
chairman
what it
and
is.
Ryo Chuchi. It sounds
Ryo
pretty bad
Chuchi.
to be honest.
Why we put an accent on everything that we can't pronounce? I don't understand.
Because it's just it's because of our Morphin cast, bro.
Yeah.
It's because we think
Yeah.
everything is Japanese.
Yeah. We try to pronounce it
Ryo Chuchi.
Japanese.
Ryo Chuchi.
Ryo Chuchi.
Ryo Chuchi.
Alright.
Chuchi. It's Chuchi. It's like to aid the new chairman in recovering his family before the Trade Federation can unduly influence the future of the planet. So what is going on here is that the Trade Federation is supposed to be this neutral force in the galaxy, but they have a blockade going on because they don't want trade happening on this planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have a blockade going, but they're supposed to be neutral. But one of the members ends up kidnapping one of the daughters of the chairman.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka, who who in all Anakin fashion just goes against every word that is ever said to her. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, that's not what he would do. I'm going to go do my own thing.
Yep.
So basically, they disclosed that there is more of a reach that the what's the name of the thing that I forget the name. What's the name? The one that their reach. Obviously it's the Republic and the fuck. I'm getting really upset
The
right now
Trade
that I don't remember
Federation.
this. No, the Trade Federation is it Pantora?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pantora's reach. Yeah, Pantora.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's showing that, for even like a neutral state, a neutral place, like Pantora has like its grip on like every place that it goes. So it's literally like, hey, they're neutral, but they're also playing parts. They're all like in a scheme to destroy things and basically world domination type of thing.
There's one thing that happens a lot in this series, this season is between Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. They're all assholes to each other.
Well, they're family.
Fuck that.
You
They give
know?
like very discreet, like very like sarcastic comments to each other. Oh, you did well, but I would have did it this way, or some shit like that. And I'm like, damn, y'all fucking mean to each other. No wonder y'all want to go to the dark side, cause he's an
None of them
asshole.
listen to
He's
each
an
other.
asshole.
None of them listen to each other at all.
No, not at all. And then they lie to each
You
other
know,
about the
yeah,
answer.
they're like like Obi-Wan will turn to Anakin like, "Oh, you're more of a talker than a doer." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you're telling her not something, but you don't practice what you preach. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So he's kind of like the devil's advocate between them two. He's
yeah,
like, like Ahsoka goes against everything that Anakin says, and then Ahsoka's always like, "Yeah, because you would do the same thing, Master." You know what I
yeah,
mean? And then Obi-Wan would turn in like, "Yeah, you're right." You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like so he basically backslaps fucking Anakin every chance he can get.
yeah,
Not in the physical sense, but in like the shaman sense.
yeah. All
But
right.
yeah, so like yeah, they this is where it really starts like involving like the Senate and like the like the um yeah, well, it's the Senate of the Republic. You can really start seeing the inner fashions of it of how quick they're all like turning on each other.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like nobody knows what they want. Like there's people in the pockets of Pantora,
yeah,
and like there's other people out there that actually want peace. Like the Republic is supposed to be good, as we all come to find out later in the history of Star Wars, they are actually the bad guys.
yep, yep, yep.
But yeah, so that's that episode.
Episode 5 is corruption with Panama on the diplomatic mission to Mandalore guarantees the Pacific planet that the Republic's full protection, but she and Duchess Santine soon find something sinister lurking beneath the planet. Authenticated Mungo smugglers have been sneaking in the supplies, including bottles of tea, for the Mandalorian schools. To increase their profits, they have been dueling the tea and hazardous chemicals. So they're pretty much poisoning the Mandalorian,
Yeah, they're killing everybody.
which
People were dying left and right.
which makes sense if you go to Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, we see how Mandalore ended up being. You know what I mean?
Everyone trying to fuck
Which
with them.
I didn't know. So like when you go to Mandalore and it's like, oh my God, now I get it. Like,
Yeah.
look, this is a flourishing city. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and also showed, like I said before, the corruption of what's happening. Like they kept paying off that doc dude to turn their back,
Yeah.
and they're like, no, like we wouldn't do that. Da da da. And then they all sat back and watched it happen. You know what I mean? It's like that was it was a good plan and it worked for a little bit, but
They
everybody just
fucked up.
doesn't know how to shut their mouths. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Mind your business.
yeah, shut your mouth, move.
Mind your business. All right. Episode 6 is yours.
Yeah, episode 6 is called wait,
The
what's the
Academy.
name? Is the Academy. My phone is bugging out right now. I hate this across the universes I was doing it on different, far away. I rather do
Yeah.
shit in person.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now Ahsoka, yeah, what's funny about her name is I during the whole season I just kept saying Padawan Ahsoka Tano,
Yeah.
Padawan Ahsoka Tano. I don't know why that was so funny to me, but Padawan Ahsoka Tano. It's like it's assigned to teach a class at the Leadership Academy on Mandalore. I love this episode actually.
Yeah.
Soon after she arrives, Duchess Santine's zealous nephew, Corky Karais, and his classmates uncover a nefarious plot. Prime Minister Almec is revealed to be an active part of the Mandalorian block market conspiracy in Mandalore, and his attempt to permanently silence Duchess Santines and the cadets before they expose his corruption. Ahsoka Panawan Ahsoka Tano and the cadets defeat Elmic before he could succeed.
Yeah.
This was the worst thing that Ahsoka could have done. Not obviously not in the hindsight of things, but they're like, hey, go teach a class, a bunch of kids, and what does she teach them? You have to like ask questions. You have to find things out for yourself. If you think there's something going on, 9 times out of 10 there is, and you have to go and figure it out yourself. Like you're supposed to keep these kids safe.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like you're basically telling them to raise up against corruption and go figure it out for yourself. So what do? They go and break into the fucking place and then realize like there's this whole big conspiracy going on, and and so they go and try to confine, which it's all in the the
Yeah.
thing that we said. Almec, he tries to kidnap and kill his mother or aunt, whatever
Yes.
she is, and yeah, and Ahsoka, Padawan Ahsoka Tano, fuck it, saves the day.
Yeah. You got episode 7, having volunteered assassins, having volunteered to Senator Paname during a political mission in Alderaan. Uh, Ahsoka is plagued to recurring a vision of promiscuous dead bounty hunter Aurora Singh assassinating the senator.
Yeah, this was actually a really good episode, man.
Yeah.
Um, this really showed like that you know Amidala. I love calling her Amidala.
Yeah.
Um, like how powerful she actually is and how committed she actually is to the Senate. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like she really put herself in harm's way multiple times. Like she got shot in this episode. You know what I mean? Like it was just a flesh wound, yes, but like she literally like puts herself in harm's way all the time. Like she's one of the most like consistent characters in all Star Wars, and I love her. Plus, I have the hots for that Portman
Yeah.
as well, so I'm kind of
There
biased.
you go.
But yeah, they tried to kill her. what's called Ventress tries to kill her, and that's when we actually, Ahsoka really discovers that Ventress is behind shit and that she's still alive.
Yes.
This is that moment of time. This is when Ahsoka's having those dreams and
Yes.
like the visions and stuff.
Yes.
So like she's becoming more one with her force ability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's having dreams and then everybody's like, no, like you're losing your mind and stuff like that. In all reality, like she was hip to what was going on, and then they captured Ventress.
Okay.
I remember it
All right.
very well.
We move into episode 8.
All right, what is the name
Evil
of it?
plans.
Evil Plans. Okay, in the middle of a routine shopping trip on Coruscant, C-3PO is abducted by the bounty hunter Cad Bane. Bane is looking for information about the Senate building on behalf of Jabba the Hutt. Finding C-3PO devoid of useful information. All right. Bane and his accomplices kidnap R2D2 and extract the vital data before the memory wiping droids of the incident and letting them on their way. The floor plan security details of the Senate building are part of the plot engineered by the Hutt family to free their imprisoned brother,
Yeah.
Zero the Hutt, who holds potentially damaging information about Hutt activities. Yeah, Zero the Hutt was funny.
Yeah. They
I,
all want
I
him
thought he
dead.
was, yeah, his own family wanted him dead,
Yeah.
bro.
That was actually
Wanted to
pretty
break
good.
him out to kill him.
Yep.
Because he's like, yeah, the longer my memory goes and the longer I have these components, the longer my memory fades. So you need to keep me alive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so basically, this episode is they send R2D2 into this droid like spa,
Yeah.
which R2D2 was having a time of his life in there. And then C3PO, obviously, he just doesn't ever shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But they tried to, it's all in the description. They tried to take like the data of the prison so they can find Zero the Hutt,
Yep.
and then basically Amidala, she basically conned Zero into giving up the fact that he was behind the assassinations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he was trying to kill people so he can get out of jail.
Yep.
And then she suckered him in by, stating how they all wanted him dead and stuff. That's,
Yeah. That also
that's basically
that kind of goes into episode 9 as well because that was a two-parter. Because like that
yeah.
continuation to that. So the episode 9 is Zero the Hunt for Zero, which pretty much is what you explained just now. But this one also adds on Obi-Wan Kenobi and Quillivan Voss are searching for Zero.
Yeah, and they go back to Tatooine.
Yes.
And we get to see the Hutt's mother, who is just a blob of a being.
Yep.
Zero's the only one that speaks English.
Yeah. He does.
Even in Mandalorian, the twins, they didn't even speak English.
No, they
No, that was
were.
Boba Fett. That was Boba Fett.
Yeah. Boba Fett. Yeah.
And then this is also where that singing alien
Yeah, that was
from
his girl.
that was his baby Boo, and she turned his back on him,
Yeah.
and he ends up getting killed, murdered. She
That's what he
killed his
gets.
ass.
That's where you get.
Yeah, stop talking shit. Shouldn't have been talking shit.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. Here we go. Heroes on both sides. When the Senate begins debating a bill that would eliminate the government oversight of the banking chains, this episode is more realistic nowadays than it's ever been.
It
You know what I mean?
is. Yeah.
I swear to you, it's literally what life is today.
Yeah.
The oversight of the banking clan's activities to fund the war. Padme and Ahsoka travel to a secret capital of the Confederacy of the Independent Systems. Amidala attempts to forge a peace agreement with the Separatists. That's the name, the Separatists. While Ahsoka sees for the first time the people of the Confederacy, Padme's friend Mina Bonteri spearheads the peace initiative and convinces the Separatist Congress to sue for peace.
Yep.
This is literally society today. This is the corruption of governments. This, I feel like they did a Simpsons on this episode.
It
You know what I
probably
mean?
did.
Like they they're like they predicted of the future. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what they're trying to do is the people who own the banks are greedy bastards and they want to make all the money. So um they want them to take out loans that are past the budget.
Yeah.
So Padme is saying, like, we need to think about the long term effects of everything that we're doing because it's not going to benefit the average person. It's not going to benefit that mechanic over there that's fixing something.
Yeah.
It's not going to benefit the plumber. It's not going to benefit anybody but the banking systems. Like, why think about now? We should be thinking about peace. We should be trying to end this, this war that's going on. You know what I mean? It's only going to hurt us longer in the long run, and that's when you really start seeing the corruption of people behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now in the rest of it, it said meanwhile in Coruscant, Senator La Dot and Guam Sam conspire with the banking clan representative Nick Card and Count Dooku. So it just showed you the banking system is all in the pocket of
Yeah.
Count Dooku.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And at Dooku's command, General Grievous engineers an attack on the central power distribution grid. So
Sounds
they
like shut the
try
fuck
to
up.
like eliminate everything.
Yeah, they're trying to shut everyone up.
It's crazy. It's really crazy how like on point that is with today.
Yeah,
I thought that was a powerful last episode.
that was good. Episode 11, Pursuit of Peace. Senator Padme, Bail Organa,
Padme.
and Okada Farr push against a new bill in the Senate to buy new clones for the Republic, but someone does not like their options and tries to dissuade them. They said dissuade. Yes,
Diluted.
yeah, they said dislude. I don't know what that means, but they dislude them. So I guess
They
they were sneaky
diluted.
against them.
Sneaky peeky.
Sneaky beaky. Yeah, they don't like the new clone. They want no clones. They don't like the old ones. They try to get new ones, and people are like, no, we don't want that.
Yeah, because it's going to cost money.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
and
we
we
just
can.
went through this in
Yeah.
the last episode. We're trying to save money, people.
Yes.
You
All
know?
right. Move on to episode 12, the
Yo,
Night
all
Sisters.
right. This is where the season really,
Yeah.
really, really starts picking up. Like, now this episode is called Night Sisters. All right, so
Yeah.
I'll give the description and we'll dive into it because this is crazy. Troubled by Ventress growing powerless with the dark side of the Force, Darth Sidious commands Dooku to eliminate her,
He's
but
like, kill that
Ventress
bitch.
survives. Yeah, like shut her up, like you failed me so many times. Dooku's assassin attempt. She survives Dooku's assassin attempt, and his jolted former apprentice vows to take revenge,
Yeah.
enlisting aid from her kinswoman, the mystical Night Sisters, in her sinister scheme. This, so, this is the world that Darth Maul is from.
Yeah.
But this world is ran by like this series of witches. You know what I mean? And they're just like, I know I get chills thinking about it because it was very mystical. It was
They're
very
very
like
in
dark.
they're big characters in Fallen Order.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Those are
think
big
I
characters
actually
in Fallen Order.
one of the sisters I versed.
Yeah, yeah.
That I think that was the last. I think that was the last battle that I did
Yeah.
that I couldn't finish, and I was drunk at the time, so
Yeah.
yeah, I just kept dying. But this world, like it was magical, it was mystical. It reminded me of Hercules
Okay.
with the sisters, the witches
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
the
Okay,
brew
I
with
got you.
with the
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
string.
From and Hades in Hell.
Yeah, in the underworld.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. Like the way the girl talked, it was very dark and demonic, but like mystical at the same time. So she had like a woman's voice and a man's echo
Yeah.
with it, and it's like it was really crazy. So like they invited, she came home, and she's talking to her mother, and she's trying to devise a plan on how to get rid of Count Dooku. So the mother goes and talks to Count Dooku about, hey, sorry that Ventress failed. How about you take one of the men from our world? You know what I mean? Like they got the same bloodline as Darth Maul, which is
Yeah.
very intriguing to Dooku. He was like, oh, I could have somebody as powerful as Darth Maul. Bet I want that. I mean, So Ventress and Mother devise a plan where it will actually be Ventress's uh, uh, Padawan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Her apprentice,
Yeah.
and she'll have him disguised as Dooku's, and then have the master plan of stabbing him in the back. Like the whole process of building him up, like they all had to battle each other and kill each other. Like the one that reigned supreme went through like literally like a Captain America kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
thing, like the serum,
Yeah.
like the ultimate, universal soldier fucking serum and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like to make him the best. This episode was badass, and from like
Yeah.
here on out up to like 20, I would say,
Yeah.
is just some of the best storytelling that this show has done.
So from 12 Nightmare Sisters, Monster, and Witches of the Mist, those three all come together. So the way you're describing everything kind of goes within those three episodes. The whole shit with the Emperor, like, yo, get rid of her. Like she getting too.
She's
she,
sloppy.
she's getting too much.
You know,
Yo, get rid of her, or I'll
she's
get
too
rid of you.
emotional. Yeah, and she's failing.
Yeah.
Everything it's not her fault that there's more powerful beings than her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's got her ass whooped by fucking Anakin and Obi-Wan together.
Yeah.
She took them on, hands on together. You know what I mean? I actually like her a lot as a character. I
Yeah.
really, really do.
But this actually goes on more into it, and the Jedi get involved with Anakin and Obi Wan. All remains unharmed, but the Savage returns. Mother Talzi believes Ventress betrayed him and is sent by Tazian to look for the long lost brother of Darth Maul.
Yeah. So now this is the series of these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
They build up this Darth Maul like character, deliver him to Dooku. He goes and immediately kills 2 Jedi's on their own fucking planet. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And like Dooku's very impressed, but he's like, yo, the guy's sloppy. He's like, you're gonna have to learn how to use your emotion to be stronger. So he's teaching him the ways of the Force. He's like, you're more powerful than you know. So because he killed 2 of the Jedi, Anakin and Obi-Wan are now on the hunt for him, and then go to the planet of the witches, and then they basically the witches like rat him out like immediately, like because they want Dooku out of there. So then they fly over, and then this is where the plan unfoils, where Dooku is surprised that Ventress is alive. She uncasts the spells on him, and then they both try to fight Dooku. But at the same time, he was getting his ass whooped. Ventress basically shitted on her apprentice, and he turned on both of them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then he flies his ass back to the witches, and she's like, "You're going to be the greatest fucking fighter in the world. You have a brother. Go and seek him out." And it's like the crystal ball, and it's like a shattered scene. It looks like Darth Maul, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's gonna be so dope. I can't wait.
These go into the next 4 episodes all going together, and these are pretty epic as well.
Visually beautiful, might I add.
Yeah.
Visually beautiful. Like they stepped their game up.
So we start with Overlords, where Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka become stranded on a mystery planet where the Force is very strong. 3 powerful entities called the Father, the Son, and the Daughter live there. The Father tries to convince Anakin to stay and remain, as Anakin will be only one able to control the Son and the Daughter, since he is the chosen one.
All right, so basically, this is like the good and evil. Like the
Yeah.
Son is like the definition of the Sith, but hates to be referred to as the Sith because he's like more powerful than them. He's like, Sith, yes, but I'm so much more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole reason why Anakin is there is because they heard that he was the chosen one, and only the chosen one can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This reminded me of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's a Final Fantasy
Like,
vibe. Yeah. The girl,
you know
especially.
what I mean? Like, especially the girl.
Yeah, yeah. I see
That
it.
like, bro, hands down those Final Fantasy fucking
The
stuff.
dude,
You know?
I'll say more Mortal Kombat, but the girl, Final Fantasy.
Oh, 100%. Even the father,
Yeah.
the father felt about Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
The way the planet was, because the planet is the Force.
Yeah.
It is a Force-filled planet, and basically, you know what I mean? Like he's just the Son is like manipulating Anakin, And this is where we see the first time in this series how deep and dark Anakin's fucking soul is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like how deep and dark and far along he is. Because we haven't really seen that. We haven't seen a dark side of him yet.
No.
And this is what I've been saying in our previous casts is, when are we going to start to see this? When are we going
Yeah.
to do this? And the guy, the son, which his name is Son, how convenient.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I can enunciate that. Um, he disguises himself. He puts him in like a sleep trance
Yeah.
where his mother comes, and then this is where he mentions that he slaughtered the city. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? When his mother died,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the bad shit that he's done, and it's like this is where you're going to go, and it just shows the scene. Like you can hear it. You don't
Yeah.
visually see it, but you can hear him turn into Darth Vader, and you see the mask, and you see it, bro. It's like such a dope
I
fucking episode, man.
you. I you.
And, it's the marshmallow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what popped in my head when I saw it happen. I was like, "It's the marshmallow."
It's funny.
It's a really
You
good
were my
series,
brother,
though. So
Anakin.
yeah.
You were my brother. You were the chosen one. You're supposed to save us from the Sith,
Yeah.
not be with them. Ah, man, yo,
This was really good.
this is what put the show over the fucking top for me, man. And I was
Yeah.
just like, how the fucking you like is like it's because now we're starting to get better with the CG. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And my problem is with the show is that the CG always felt like a
They
cutscene
make
of
some
like an early
ugly
2003.
motherfuckers.
What's
There's
up?
some really ugly motherfuckers in this show.
Well, yeah, because we can visually see them better now.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
they're
mean?
very ugly. Like the dude that was controlling the droid army and shit like that. He like if you put a red nose and like pink hair, he looked like a clown.
Yeah, he would look like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is
Yeah, like
actually that's exactly what Jackie said there.
nah, that's what I thought in my head. I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is a Killer Clown from Outer Space kind of guy right here. You know what I mean?
So, 16 and 17 go into together. Ghost of the Mortis, which is also that's when you actually saw the Anakin going through his mind and actually going through all the problems that he had. So it went through Vader, it went through him losing Padawan, him and they actually even had the what you just talked about with Obi-Wan and him and stuff like that. But it goes also,
Yeah, and I just
yeah,
never lost those 3 episodes in one
yeah.
rant. You know what I mean?
And the great thing also, because the Citadel episode, that was located where Vader dies. Well,
Yes,
Anakin dies,
yes, it was.
and Vader becomes, and then becomes
Yes, it
Vader
was.
again.
You know,
Yeah.
and I was thinking that because I kind of space out here and there, deep in thought while I'm watching the
So
show. Because I'm like categorizing what I see, and then like I tune in, I'm like, yo, this is where Darth Vader lives.
and Captain Tarkin liked it, and he was like, "Yeah, this is a great base and shit like that."
The fact that the
And that was
fact
actually
that
cool
he
too.
was in it,
Yeah,
the fact that he was in it, and he's super young.
yeah,
He's not old. He's not a general. He's a captain at the time, right?
yeah. But he would also be working with them because he was part of that whole shit.
Yeah, but you can see that his views kind of went against a lot of
Yeah,
what the Jedi was saying.
he was a little Nazi.
Oh yeah, definitely. He
He was
was
a little
pre
Nazi.
fucking World War One.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he definitely was. But then you could see that Anakin was kind of like intrigued by what he was saying, and you could see why
yeah,
now that makes sense that he was Darth Vader's general
yeah,
later. Watching one of the episode of them going through the corridors and then because they had to go and free one of the Jedi
yeah.
dudes
That was
because
another ugly motherfucker.
yeah, well, not everybody could be pretty. Okay.
O.C. Sednick.
Um, and he had all the information that was needed. So Tarkin had his information, and then he had his own information. And they wanted to separate. Tarkin was like, "We got to stick together." It's like, no, we're better off separating. So if they catch us, they can't. They can't get it. They tortured the guy. He's like, "Yo, like, you're gonna need to try harder than that." And then, like his dying breath, he literally told the secret to Ahsoka. So now Ahsoka's holding this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That was a good two
yeah,
part episode.
yeah.
I
Because
enjoyed it,
that was
and the
the
fact that
Citadel and counterattack.
we are on the planet that Darth Vader became Darth Vader, and that we got to see Rogue One, that he was actually living
Yeah,
there.
actually, that was the Citadel counterattack and Citadel rescue. So these all come together, and pretty much this was the rescue of the everything, and then he ended up taking his life and saving Ahsoka.
Yeah, it was good storytelling. It was good. They all got separated and they all came back, and it was up to this moment in time, from literally from what, the Night Sisters
Yeah,
to this, hands down is the best episodes Clone Wars have produced so far.
yeah. So I'll say I'll even debate from 10 to 20. That whole shit, very good stuff.
Yeah, now with the Republic
Yeah.
and the fucking the Separatists.
Yep. Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? And like the whole banking shit. Yeah, I agree. From 10 to 20, solid, fucking great storytelling. And
Nice.
then we end off with our last two episodes, Padawan Lost, which you said something.
Ahsoka and the Lost Boys.
That, yeah, it was hilarious. I started laughing my ass off when you said that, because it's so on point. It really
Yeah.
is. It's like
Or
they're lost younglings
uh,
that
uh
was stranded on this planet.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they're like fighting to get off the planet.
Yeah.
And then it takes a furry friendly character, which we all love and enjoy, to come and help save the day.
Chewbacca
We
joins the
finally got
war.
our first appearance in chronological order. Our first appearance of Chewbacca.
So what makes him go to be a fucking scavenger and shit? If he was a savior or
No, he was
shit.
he was picked up. Remember, he was a
Yeah,
prisoner. He was a
that is
prisoner
true.
on that ship.
That is true. He probably broke
He
a bunch of his
wasn't.
arms.
No, he probably did. He probably ripped them off and beat them with it.
Yeah,
Or he probably cheated in that chess game. You know what I
he
mean? And
probably did.
fucking, knowing his ass. But yeah, no, he was a prisoner on that, and the ship fucking crashed. And then he came and met up, and Ahsoka could speak Wookiee all of a sudden.
Yep.
Padawan Ahsoka, yeah, Ahsoka Tano. Padawan Ahsoka Tano. I don't know why I try to make it sound like Spanish, but it's fucking
Again,
hilarious.
we have weird things
Um,
with accents.
Padawan Ahsoka Tano.
That damn sense. I don't know why
But I'm
we
gonna
do
be
that.
honest, I could have really, really lived without these episodes, because at the end of episode 22, so basically, it's them trying to get off the planet. Chewie needs to make a satellite, a signal, because the planet's not too far out of that system. And Obi-Wan and Anakin, they all come, and you know what I mean. It literally is a flat line of a season finale.
Yeah,
Like, I clicked the next episode thinking that's going to be another one. It was like, no, season 4. I'm like, that's such a shitty way to end the season.
yeah,
End of 20. You should have just left it at 20 then.
yeah. I agree. I felt like the last two were I like Chewbacca, so I was happy to see him. But other than that, I could live without the last two episodes. Like, I could live without the Jedi Lost Boys and all that stuff.
Or put that earlier in the season, but
Yeah,
end it off with what we had, because from 10 to 20, like, and then you end it with those last two. It's like, yo, come on, yo, you fucking peaked too early, bro.
yeah, that is true. But for the most part, the season was extremely good.
Oh yes, 100%. Like I said, the whole public, the whole separatist, the whole corruption, it really shows like the government level of what's going on in the world after Attack of the Clones.
So,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
They already got married, Anakin and Padme, which they had to pretend like they didn't know each other at first
yeah,
in one episode. I remember,
yeah,
like, oh yeah, this is the like, yeah, we know who we are. Little did they know that they're married and they're
yep,
boinking.
yeah. All right. Out of
But
1 to 5, what you reviewed this season?
listen, I'll give I'll give 10 to 20 a fucking 4 or 8. But because of the season finale, I would have to drop it down to a 4 6.
I'll go solid 4 for the season.
4.
Yeah. I
I
think I
mean,
gave 2 a 3.5, and I think I gave 1 a 3.
I don't remember what I gave. I just know that
I think I
these 10
remember though.
episodes from 10 to 20 was the best so far.
Yeah.
And it deserves a couple of points. I'll give a 4-2.
4-2? Okay.
I'll
Not
give a
bad.
4-2.
That's a good score.
I think that's more just because, like, the witches and like the father, the son, and the daughter, the seeing the foreshadowing of Anakin's future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is incredible to me.
Nice. All right. So that is our review of Clone Wars season 3.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do next? I'll give you your decision. Are we gonna do Ahsoka or are we gonna do season 4 of Clone Wars?
Well, how many episodes is Ahsoka gonna be?
Ahsoka is probably 8 episodes.
How many episodes do we have so far?
Uh, 5.
So literally, it's about to end.
Yeah.
I say we do another season of this, and
Okay.
we'll go from there.
All right. So next.
Let's get a little bit more of a backstory of who Ahsoka is.
All right.
You know what I mean? 3 more episodes. That's a month. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's like another month. So
our next cast we'll be doing Clone Wars season 3, season 4, and that's where we'll start off for next cast we have for Not Trekkie. All right. So we'll wrap this
sounds
up.
good to me.
You want to start it
Yeah.
up?
Yeah. Once again, everybody who's been tagging along for this ride, thank you. We appreciate your followership and viewership and likes and your shares. You know what I mean? We're doing this. The Merc put this on my table. Was like, hey, you like Star Wars? Let's doing this. I'm happy that you're diving down in this with me as well because this is new territory
Yeah.
that me and you both haven't experienced.
Yeah.
So this is like a fresh take. We're doing it together, so I appreciate that. What you call it? Yeah, like I said, everybody shouts out to everybody who's been a part of this, who uh, tunes into all of our other cast of it gets better, Cyclone Inc.'s Shell Shock, Gamer Rage podcast, the Morphin Cast, obviously not a Trekkie, and Red Cyclone Inc.'s weekly podcast of It Gets Better, I Swear, and the Wrestling Babble.
Yep. Yep.
Um, Also, everybody go and check out my podcast, our podcast, the Popcorny podcast that I do with my boy Sriracha, Straw Hat Ty. The Merc is an avid host of that as well, even when he's not there in person. He's there in spirit. That satisfies all pop culture and everything like that. You can check that out on Spotify. You can check out all the casts that I mentioned on. You can do that rundown because I
Okay.
get tongue tied when it comes to that.
All right. So follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, or Mark the Mic. Also follow the Red Cycle Link on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and WordPress. Our easiest way to listen to our podcast is Spotify, Red Cycle Inc., Spotify, Mark with the Mic, and also SoundCloud, Mark with the Mic. You could easily get our cast on there as well. We do have our Not a Trekkie podcast all in a playlist. So if you want to listen to past casts, they're all together. So you just click on that and you can listen to all the episodes we have done so far. Um, I think we're in the 20s of what we did so far. So or getting to
Well,
there.
what there's 9 movies,
9 movies. So we did.
Christmas special,
Oh God.
Mandalorian. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. So we're about in the 20s. So definitely check it out when you get a chance. It's on SoundCloud and it has a playlist. You click on that, you can listen to all the casts. And that's about it. Always remember, well, this is a Star Wars cast, but still focus out on he's in space, I
Eh,
guess.
Listen, fuck Sword on every cast, bro. You know what I mean? Shouts
And
out to Louis Beans.
yes, our producer.
He does his thing, and I truly appreciate what you do. Don't feed Jankies a sandwich.
Yes.
Also, just go and check out Popcorny on Instagram, the Popcorny 1975 Instagram page. Also, check out the TikTok of Popcorny 1975, and also Straw Hat Ties, which is Tyler.Los.
Yes.
There's a lot of anime stuff for people who enjoy anime, so go and check
Yes.
those out.
Yes. All right. Peace out. Laters. And
Yeah,
fuck
fuck
Zordon.
Sword on. Oh, I'll say it again.